just like getting married is a defining moment in one's life, unfortunately, getting divorced is a defining moment in one's life as well, not only emotionally, but also financially and in terms of taxes as well. And today we have a question from someone who has decided to get divorced, and they have a question about how that relates to their back tax debt with their spouse and perhaps soon to be ex-spouse. Player Disconfigured says, divorce and payment plan. Hey guys, 2 weeks ago, I received a letter from the IRS saying that my spouse and I owe $17,000 in taxes plus interest from a 2021 tax return. My spouse said that the problem would be taken care of. However, he didn't resolve anything and interest is still accruing. In the meantime, I found out my spouse cheated on me. Wow, this is a lot that happened in the past 2 weeks. I want to get divorced, but I don't want to get into a payment plan with him because we will start the divorce process soon. However, I don't want to have it accumulating interest. Even though he cheated on me, he said that he will not take responsibility on the payments since we are divorcing. What would you guys recommend doing? So it sounds like there's kind of two things here. You mentioned first is the interest accruing, and second is you don't want to get into a payment plan with your cheating husband, soon to be ex-husband. So first thing I'll say is the only way to get rid of the interest accruing is to pay off the balance in full. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. Even if you get into a payment plan, the interest is still going to accrue. Okay, penalties will still accrue as well, believe it or not. Typically, with the payment plans we negotiate for our clients, we're able to get the IRS to reduce that future penalty accrual, though. Okay, but penalties still do accrue. If you submit an offer in compromise, then whatever you settle with the IRS for, whatever they accept, and as long as you pay it, it's going to wipe away whatever's left, right? The underlying taxes, including the penalties and interest. Okay, but I just want to put that out there concerning the interest accrual because you mentioned that a couple times. Second thing you say is you don't want to get into a payment plan with this guy. Okay, and that makes sense. Most spouses who are contemplating divorce, they want a complete divorce in terms of their finances as well, apart from, of course, alimony and child support and things like that. Well, at least one spouse is interested in that. So here's what I recommend. If you don't have the means to pay this tax debt off right now, okay, I would say you should look into mirroring this joint liability you had with your husband, soon to be ex-husband from 2021, into two separate collections accounts. Okay, yes, that is possible, right? You don't want to get a payment plan with him, right? That's what this is there for. You can look in so what happens is you call the IRS and you request them to mirror the tax debt. Meaning, hey, my ex-husband and I owe, what was the figure? Or my husband and I owe $17,000 in taxes. He's a scumbag. He's not financially responsible, deadbeat, whatever. I don't want to, I want IRS, please create two separate collections accounts here. Both for $17,000. Both of you still owe the $17,000, right? They can go after both of you. But all this is saying is that once the account is mirrored, right, into two separate collections accounts, because right now you have a combined liability, combined collection account with your husband, right? It's one collections account. By mirroring the accounts, you create two collections accounts, two collections cases, essentially, two collections modules, essentially. Okay, so you would get a payment plan on the $17,000, right? And you would be protected from levies, garnishments, right, as long as you stay in that payment plan. However, your husband, soon to be ex-husband, would have to set up his own payment plan with the IRS. The fact that you're in a payment plan on that debt does not protect him, right? He had to make his own payments against that debt. Okay. Now, whatever combined payments you both make, both serve to reduce that one $17,000 balance. It's not like the IRS can collect $17,000 from you and $17,000 from him, right? As you make payments, that'll lower the balance, which will affect the amount he owes as well, because this is, this one liability, just two collections cases. Okay. And the guidelines for mirroring accounts, if you want to get kind of technical here, are in the Internal Revenue Manual, section 5.19.1.6.7. Okay. Let me zoom in here. I don't know if this will help. Let's see. So, right, after a jointly filed balance due tax return is processed, both taxpayers are responsible for the liability. Okay. And remember, the IRM is written for IRS employees on how to deal with the case. It says this section will help you recognize when it is appropriate to separate or mirror a joint account. You may also receive a request from a taxpayer for separate treatment from their spouse in order to have their own installment agreement or C&C or other resolution with the IRS, right? That's what this mirroring is. They have their own collections case with the IRS for this tax debt with its own resolution. And it doesn't affect the spouse, other than the liability obviously going down as payments are made. But the spouse is going to have to get their own resolution with the IRS, or the IRS is going to garnish them. Okay, inform the taxpayer this option, the benefits, and that once the account is mirrored for a specified period, such as 2021 in this case, it will not be reversed. Okay. If the action is agreed upon, the IRS will start the mirroring process, which is basically splitting the liability, and then into two collections accounts, basically. There are reasons why the IRS wouldn't mirror an account. Okay. So, right, if any of the following conditions exist, the account cannot be referred for mirroring, right? So, if you're not compliant with your tax returns, okay, you got to file your required tax returns before the IRS will entertain a mirroring request. There is a credit balance on the module to be mirrored, meaning the IRS owes you money for that year, but that's not the case here. Okay, name control has to match, right? So the name control in the IRS's records, individual master file, NC name control, first four characters of the name, right? Must match the Social Security Administration's name control. And that's your last name, by the way. If either one of the spouses' socials begin with a 9, indicating temporary Social Security number, if they're currently in bankruptcy, if they're international, if the other spouse's, the secondary spouse's social or tax identification number is invalid. A joint liability cannot be mirrored for the death of the secondary spouse, so that's not something that's going on here. Innocent spouse, which is something different. That's if there's mistakes on the return that your spouse made, causing them to understate the tax liability, incur penalties and interest, and you did not know about these mistakes and you had no reason. You didn't know or should have known about the mistakes, right? If the CSET is imminent, meaning the tax set is going to drop off in 12 months or less. Don't know what a CSET is. Collection statute expiration date. You can learn all about it in this video. Link at the top of the screen. Then they're in status 71, which is the OIC code. Okay, so it is possible. Well, let me back up. Not possible to stop the interest from accruing unless you pay off the balance or it's just settled in OIC. But it is possible to get into a payment plan with the IRS, which will protect you from garnishment, levy action, bad, nasty stuff like that. And getting into a payment plan apart from your husband, soon to be ex-husband. Okay. Hope this was helpful for you. We've been talking about payment plans here, but hey, you may qualify for something else, right? You may qualify for something like an offering compromise, or even a hardship-based payment plan. If you want to know all about those tax relief options, check out this video up here at the upper left-hand corner of your screen. If you owe at least $10,000 more in back taxes, give us a call. Schedule your free consultation with Choice Tax Relief, 866-8000-TAX. That's 866-8000-829. Or you can fill out the form at choicetaxrelief.com, and we will reach out to you. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.